All right, we should be good. Live on everything. All right. Way too warm here today. I turned the fan on again. Tonight we're going to be working on. I had to do a bunch of cleanup actually on the main project, but we want to get NPCs going through their behavior tree, and I want to kind of start figuring out what we want to do with them. You know, kind of not like a final pass, but maybe like we'll call it like a medium pass. Let me get the fan going. All right, we got a fan. Yeah, the NPCs are going to be the thing of the day. What way to chat with us? Man, why are you just flying back and forth? There's remote mining locations. Oh, the location nav points. Look at this guy. I was going to fix this. Yeah, so they don't have no stations to find. Station 2. This is Station 1. Let's try to get it from the parent, unless it's been defined. We're just letting the NPC do its thing. And when he comes back over here, hopefully he will land at the nearest pad and we'll see him go live. But that's going to be the goal of tomorrow and tonight, is getting NPCs spotting their own ships and being able to traverse from station to station. He should have took off, but he didn't, apparently. I don't know where he's stuck. Oh, was the gravity to fix just to use, Godot? I have a weird issue where the ships are pushing my landing pad around, but the landing pad's a static body 3D. But there's nothing odd about it. Like, it's just a static body 3D, so why is it being moved? Not an expert? It's so bizarre. It's moving. Like, it bumped. It actually bumped that landing pad when it landed. Which is really weird, because it's not supposed to be able to be moved. Anyways, trying to leave, but I can't, so I need to figure out what's with the gravity.
Really don't seem to matter at all anymore.
That's beautiful. Yeah. 29.8. Oh, we should be fine. Yeah, landing pads, they're just static bodies. And I even have them axis locked, not that it matters. They shouldn't be movable. Yeah, it's just weird. Because it's not like it's happening inside a station, or like I don't expect like stairs or like anything to be able to be moved, but for some reason they are in this edge case. Right? So there's our friend coming in. See what I mean? Right? Like he lands okay. And then he takes off okay. Right? Heads over to the next waypoint. Right? Gets the next free landing pad. And he kind of needs to face this way, so he kind of does a bit of a belly flop here. But, like, that's not supposed to happen. It is the weirdest thing ever. Hey, Proton. Right? So, like, you know, we have stability in the ship's ability to traverse. But, like, they're not supposed to be moved or be movable in any way. And now when it comes in, it'll like realign to the one that's kind of like busted, but it doesn't make any sense that they're able to be moved, especially given that that's only a rigid body. And I'm like stuck in it, so it's trying to fix itself. Yeah, I don't want it to be affected by gravity or anything. Like it's supposed to be like default. It's supposed to have no physics. That's the thing. It's not supposed to be movable by default. It's a static body by literal definition of what a static body is. That's what's weird about it. You know? It'd be like, you know, it'd be like making the ground a static body or making like a wall static body, which they are. And for some reason you can push the wall. You know? It's like just bizarre. Because I'm good with this. And, right, like obviously like I gotta turn around the, you know, the alignment vector. But like it's aligning to the pad each time, and it's like kind of hovering, it's doing this thing. And then it takes off, does its thing, and that's all good. Like we're completely stable, right? As far as systemics of this, like they will fly. That ship will fly back and forth for the next like the whole night, right? But I don't understand why it's not locked. I think it's static. Like, do I lock it? Like, I don't like. It's just weird. Like, I'm not. Do I have to make the whole station a static body, and not a node? Because it's just a node. It's a node 3D that happens to have a static body in it. I don't think I need to make the, you know, like there's tons of levels that I've created that have colliders on them for static bodies. And I just do not see here at all how these landing pads, they're on the right collision layer, like you know, they affect the ship and the player. There's no physics interpolation, like it's not supposed to be moving. And it isn't joining the node on collision or anything. No, I don't think so. You know, it's just in the station. Right, we have a node 3D for a collection of stations. We have the station itself, which is a node. You know, we could change it. Because we are, let's make it local. Station alpha. And because we're inheriting from, you know, we can make the station itself a static body 3D. And then we can take the floor. Because the navigation region also needs something to bake itself. I guess you could use the floor mesh. So I guess we'll just take the whole floor and we'll move it out. Isolate that static body. And we'll say like, okay, now the damn thing is it in itself a static body. And let's see how it behaves. But I've never had this issue before. I saw a bounty board this morning. What's that? That's for doing bounties in the NPC Advanced. You can do bounties and make money. Let's see if it works now. Maybe we literally had to make the entire station static. No, look. It's still pushing it. How? Like, how are these moving around? I also don't know why the NPCs are spawning on nothing. And there's no mesh with them. Like when things work. I'm showcasing that next week. Why the MC crashing? So it's so now we have a nested set of static bodies. Like what? Like no rigid body. Like I can't push that with a even with my with another rigid body. Well, the force angle is a lot more down on that arrival point. So when we get the landing pad, does it move ever so slightly if you just walk onto it? No, nope, not at all. If you go back to the NPC traversal scene where we're here as a player. Let's do a cargo box. We can play with. Mm-hmm. See? I can't move it as a player, and there's my collisions. But like, oh, I'm not capable of moving it because it's truly static. There's the target off. So like I have unlimited force, right? On this. And it's like it's truly static, right? When I hit it with a rigid body. It's not supposed to be able to move anything. Right? Like it literally can't. Like I've never seen is the game ready for a stream deck build? Walk around space station, fly a ship if you want to. Yeah, like this is totally static. That's what's weird, right? Like why are the ships? How is the ship causing it to move? Right? Unless it's a situation of the like what happens when two static bodies hit each other. You know what I mean? Like because there are static bodies inside the ship itself for the shields. Right, so it could be no, but then like shields are on a different layer. Shields are on their own layer anyway. So it's not the shield hitting it and moving it. And it's obviously on 2 because it's supposed to be able to hit the landing pad. That's the, I mean, you know, that's the point of it. Like its own physics layer is set to be, and that's fine. There is a hole, but we haven't done anything with it. So the only other, you know, static body that's in the ship that could be moving it. Yeah, there's nothing in the model. And there's nothing on the cargo engines right now, so we don't need it. Yeah, and the shield is on 9. I think the shield is on its own projectile shield layer. The missiles are like up here. The missiles are locked rigid bodies, actually. So the missiles are actually fine. Alright, so the missiles themselves are rigid bodies that are actually set to be static. So they're actually like locked in place. So they're sleeping and they're frozen. So they're, you know, it's not the missiles. They yeah, because they're not active. Yeah, what can move? Right, it says it can't be moved by external forces. That's the thing. It should not be able to be moved. Right, it cannot be moved by external forces. Like, what is moving it? They do console print from whenever there is a collision. There's no code on the head itself. Yeah, I don't think the static body itself actually listens to collision events. It is literally just meant to block other things from. That's what's weird. Nothing should be moving it. Ugh. But it can't be moved by external or context. It doesn't get moved by context either. Back to Unity, right? Right, but can be moved manually or by any other means such as code or animation mixers with an animation mixer callback. So an animation can move it. A remote transform can move it too. But we don't have yeah, like I had the shield turned off. I wonder, is it the seat? Like our ship seat has a remote transform, but nothing is actually being defined in it. Right, it's used for like whoever's flying the ship to, but it's not working. It doesn't have a path. Like if you don't interact with it, there's literally nothing that it should be doing. Right, there's other static bodies here, but they are once again on their own collision lane. It's on the selectable, you know, ship components collision layer. Or other components layer. And this is the only time I've seen them. If I make a big old wall and bang the ship into it, I don't think it's gonna move. Yeah, I don't think it's that either. Yeah, I could remove the seat temporarily. Yeah, and I don't think it's this. So I will disable the shield. Back to the enemy now. There's gotta be some reason for it. That is just weird, man. It's so weird. Because NPCs I know they're slowly spawning by world origin, so they're kind of like slowly heading over to where they need to go. Can you have it land on the big platform itself and see if it fits? Like push it around? Yeah, we can do that. We could add a dumb one here with that. Let me add one that we can kind of manually control. So we'll stick it in the gravity. We'll give it no target. Idle. Idle. What the hell is it doing? Look, it's working perfectly there. Is it just the top that seems, or the pad? I'm not sure. I mean, like when you're on it, it seems to be fine. It's like pushing up against it. All right, the second I give this thrust controller a little bit of forward linear thrust. So watch as soon as it touches. As soon as we touch here.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What? Like it spins as if it's rotating. But the collision is stable once it does it once. Look, like I actually can't. It's like now it's fine. But when I first touch the thing, because I make my NPC system with like a dynamic input movement system, so I can feed vectors into it to like control. Like that's perfectly stable now. Can you move the other platform? Try first one too. See, like it moved, but why is it stable now? If we go up a little bit. Oh. Let me flip this thing around. That was an input. Around the y-axis. Yeah, was our rule input wrong? Yeah, like it's so weird. Right, so in Station 2, we have these landing pads. Right, there's the collision shape for the pad. There's no physics stuff, it's all normal. Right, and when we just have our layers defined, so like technically it only should be on the ship layer, but we'll mask the player as well so the player can jump on it. And what's even weird, like I turned on like the axis lock, so it physically literally can't move. Ask the robot, ask the Jippity. Like, have I found a Godot bug? Is this the last thing that's stopping me from finishing the AI? Like, here's our area. For detecting if the ships arrived. Right, and that's good too. And we're not overriding gravity, or we're not doing weird things here. We don't want other areas to detect it. We just want it to be manageable. No weird transforms. Code. Something in the code. Causing it to rotate. uh, 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 we'll never speak of this ever again. I want it so I have a tween to turn the ship around when the but I don't think we're tweening the ship turning around. Right. But I also don't know why it didn't do a 180 though. For the auto land being called. I don't know. Anyway, let's disable the auto land. And let's revert this back to a standard. Actually, you know, I think the landing pad being a static body isn't really a big deal because there's just less in the hierarchy we have to deal with. Oh man, that's funny. Because it was the second I triggered it and it only happened once. So I was like, wait a second. What is it doing? Right? Like, why are we like... No, I gotta fix the shield. We're gonna pretend that none of this ever happened and that I'm a professional. And we would definitely check like an auto alignment code to see like if we're tweening. So funny. GG. I don't know if we call that one GG. I mean, it is if we can now deterministically always have the landing pads actually work, where we can start bringing the Oh, I hate it. I hate it. It all works fine. It's all fixes to spot. We're just playing fixes. What? Wait, so why is one of these... Actually, yeah, I don't even understand. Editable. Thank you. Why is one of these blue? It's like, you're not blue. Yeah, why is there one NPC ship that's like this one? Oh, okay, it's probably because I'm overriding it. I'm gonna say because we swapped out the model to use the new NPC model, we kind of like started to break these out into different archetypes. Maybe it just needs to be saved. No, it's weird, like why that does that. It's like this override material is supposed to be reset. Like nothing is making it become that. Why is this one anti-gravity? Yeah, so we want to be able to just get a bunch of these NPCs flying around doing their thing. And they're supposed to, by default, if they're a trading ship, pull down all of the trade routes in the star system when they wake up. They're not supposed to be like fighting with each other for landing spots. Yeah, so what I think we'll do, we're generally always yeah, so let's rotate the that's weird, they actually are rotated. Yeah, let's have them kind of on approach.
Maybe you're in Australia, maybe even on the coast, disguised in regalia, and making the most of the most of a
So you don't need to be editable anymore. So I wonder why these ones are not getting the 2 landing routes when we hit play. Because we can't find a star system. But that if we had root and we use find node. Hey, Hippie Bob. Oh, same old. We're just working on NPC flight model stuff.
maybe you're in Australia, maybe even on the coast, disguised in regalia, and making the most of
Mhm.
Hey, I'm at the park right now. I'm
NPC traversal. How long are you working on this tonight? I'm not sure yet.
I got a lot of pride, but I got no ego. I lost it when I took shrooms about a week ago. Now I cry over something intangible I lost. Seems crazy thinking about the collateral it costs. Watching yourself fade out is never fun. Imagine watching it happen.
Yeah, no, that spin around is
Till I get out of my head. This labyrinth's a trap, but so
that alignment is wrong.
Ariel is my god and she is now dead, right? Following this plot.
I think it's self-correcting to the wrong axis.
Every time the self's transient, a blur. Listening to my rhyme is poison.
You should drop in to watch the Griefers pub. Griefers pub tonight? What are you guys doing?
And blood can't fix how you bow when pressure surrounds. Get out now, don't look back or back down to find out. Fix up this stuff that complicates your mind.
Definitely some things you can learn from Let's Sega doing. I went on to subreddit just to see people whining about Skybox being a thing.
It's no lie, just trying to help out one another. We can cry together to discover the nature of time, reality and space, the tears that fall from your beautiful face. Don't worry about what ills you must take, just stay determined to rewrite these mistakes into gateways.
No gamer, we got Cypher, the evil mastermind from GriefNet on show. Oh, cool.
Growth comes more than just once in a lifetime. No love or lies can prepare us for this pride.
I'm glad that you guys are having, like, you know, enjoying the game. I love how this new patch is about cargo empires, and there's still literally no incentive to do cargo. Yeah, like I'm like, cargo empires, okay. Yeah.
It's a marathon. I would think every time that the pressure's on and rush to risk and climb just to get.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think that's much better of approach.
I spent half of my life chasing my ideals, intent to craft this plight and embrace the reveal. Now that's what my case is. How do I feel when all that took place was a race to
Yeah, I mean, shouldn't affect any of these.
I don't know.
It's gonna be awesome. You should get a kick out of the podcast.
Still home, but feels like I'm drowning below. The surface is beautiful, but how do I cope? Trapped in my mind at this stoplight. Lapse every time I think I'm right in the fast lane. Gas hard off the mark, sparks fly and cast out the dark.
Yeah, so when a ship was entering the pad.
Myself fell into my mental.
Oh, that's funny.
For help, I keep trying to change, but with no success. Every time I fail, I progress through complex obsession, embracing expression, unable to grow. Contention enables my flow inside.
I stay awake so I don't miss it. How late is it gonna be?
Trust me, follow my eyes, race for the prize, reach for the
Excellent.
and face your demise. Here's my advice, and it's no surprise.
I can't believe it was that. That's so crazy.
Goodbyes, just hellos and salutations to feel surmise, although facing implications.
I do like.
Situations undone. Believe me, I love you. You're my everyone.
Auto landing the NPC. The up direction is your global basis Y normalized from the pad. Our orientation, direction of how we want to orient it. A new rotation. Normalize the real angle. Getting clean. Okay, we're just aligning it. The Y up. Makes sense. Which we don't need to do. It's probably in like 19 minutes for it really depends on how quick they get through things. Yeah, so I want to get these fighting each other. So this Godot stuff, it's working out for you so far. Yep. Yep. So far, it's been pretty good. There's a lot of art I need to do now. A lot of like individual systems want to get online. What I would like to get working this week is I really want to see you get into like universe stuff. Get the universe stuff working. What do you mean by like the universe stuff? Absolutely no issues tonight. Yeah, no issues caused by Godot. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, it's close. I get paid out from Fiverr today, and I'm gonna have an artist that I'm gonna be commissioning to retarget the rigs. The issue that the Godot's default bone remapping system is terrible, and like unlike Unity with Mechanim, if you want to bring in like Mixamo animations and a few other things, they work, but their fixed silhouette option for turning, you know, like for aligning the characters to T-pose, it's not great. So really, to do animations well in Godot, they just expect you to have nice T-pose. You know, to have your armature in a T-pose by default. And all of my assets for the characters are in A-pose. So I had someone do an example run and redid the female character, and it worked out perfect. So I'm going to get them to redo the male character, and this time I'm going to give them the assets with all the NPC clothing. So like I'll actually get it all, because it's really only the arms that need to be like retargeted really, and there's like IK points on the feet that need to be adjusted. But other than that, I'm hoping this week to have like all of the NPCs like converted over from Greybots. So with Unforgiven, how are you going to handle moderation? I know that people will always find a way to like screw up the game, but players won't be able to use PvP as an excuse to report people, right? I'd like to just kind of like tie a lot of that stuff into the game. You know what I mean? Like it just like have areas that are just unsecure and areas that are secure and areas where, you know, like the PvP is totally, you know, like normally rampant. But, you know, like that's the nature of the areas that you're kind of partaking in gameplay wise. And as far as other stuff like harassment and like, you know, people trolling and whatnot, that's really case by case. If someone are kind of like saying something, you know, like, you know, bad or something a bit more like social contract-ish, that might be a little bit different. But getting upset about how they died in PvP, like I think what I'm going to do is collect analytics of how people died and what killed them, and just kind of like, you know, if a complaint comes in, if a person's been briefed, just make tooling that like automates a lot of that. So there's like, you know, you could just tell, you know what I mean, like from the logs, like, you know, how a death occurred and, you know, what occurred for it. Just be like, no, they were just blown up by some space psycho. You know, that you don't really need to have a reason to blow someone up if you blow them up in a area that's totally unsecured. And it's the same, you know, like being upset that somebody sunk your ship in Sea of Thieves is pretty, you know. What would I say is harassment, killing stuff? I think if the game design allows a player to get back to another player quick enough to allow them to be spawn camped and vice versa, then the design has failed. And it's failed design. Look at Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is designed like the space between when you get sunk and when you spawn back in. It's just enough that you can kind of go back and kind of like pick up your ship. Like you might be able to get back to it in time. But in general, like once your ship's been sunk, you're like way over here. Like, you know, continuous harassment is very questionable if the game allows players to continuously PvP. You know what I mean? Like, how can you say killing a player in a game is at the moment with GN were like hitting different events from people, yet Sega treating the entire player base as a giant monolith, and it's driving everyone crazy. So Sega's treating the whole player base as a giant monolith. You know, if they wanted to prevent, you know what I mean, like areas of events to be brief, they would have simply had systems that don't allow it to happen. They're claiming like we're harassing every player in the game. I mean, you're in an organization called ReeferNet. I mean, like, isn't like that the purpose of the, you know, right? If they don't like it, they can just kill you guys. You know what I mean? Like, they have the same tools that the game has provided you with that they have as well. That should enable them to PvP back. Right? And if that's a concern, they just need to be doing events in armistice zones or something. You know, like I would hope they do, but they're not. They're just calling up Sega every time. Yeah, it's like, you know, if you mass report something enough. I still don't know if Sega's actually truly banned anybody, you know, from the game other than limited timeouts, or whatever you want to call it. Like, we're not spawning them, we're just there to surprise people at unexpected times. But okay, so NPC traversal. Yeah, so we should have 2 stations. They should be each spawning their own NPCs. They obviously not. I'm wondering if the manager itself. Rev, don't fall into the traps of Seg. What's that? They hire security, get defenses, they lose their mind. Well, Star Citizen's weird and doesn't know what it wants to be, so it's really weird to determine normality in a game that says that it's a Care Bear game, but yet not a Care Bear game. Like, if you can be anything in Star Citizen, then Star Citizen doesn't know what it wants to be, because you can't have every gameplay loop. You can't have, like, you know, it can't be like permadeath where you need to be like 200% focused on staying alive because you don't want to lose your character, but yet simultaneously playing as if it's an arcade game where you can die and respawn every like 5 minutes. You know, like, wait, what is Star Citizen? Arcade? Hyper simulation? You know, like, do we know? You know, like, nobody knows. Game's not done yet. At the moment, like, someone does not. I can't wait to get further along, Bob. If we were like next summer, like, I would love to finally have the vertical slice to a point that it can be showcased, you know. And that's one of the things that I'm working on now. It's very primitive, but I want to spawn in the NPCs with random cargo that can be destroyed. They create at least initial PvE piracy, as far as I'd play this if we can kill silly boops, silly bobs. Yeah, I'd love to have a notoriety system, and I'd love to have a notoriety system built into the game, where it is hard to be bad in the game, but the longer you are notorious, there's more kind of clout. Like, there's more of a hit, you know, that's out on you. There's more of a, you know, going up to a bounty board and actually seeing like Heavy Bob, like, you know, last seen at this location, and kind of, you know, there's more of like an incentive to go after you from a gameplay perspective. Right? It's it'd be cool. Well, I don't, but help me. No, I don't. Oh, you don't mind helping with that? It would work. Yeah, I wonder why they're not. Embassy resources for advanced or prefab or advanced prefab. Max spawning per. So we have a spawn node, but the spawn node reference is supposed to be parented at 0. Because they're supposed to be distributing NPCs evenly around spawn. But it seems to not necessarily care when we have more than one here. I'm going to actually see what that distribution is with the manager. Yeah, so the spawn NPC function. Major issue with SIG's bounty system is they print money from nothing. If you want it to use the entire system, the bounty should be the value that is taken from the person who is the menace. Yep. Yeah, and it should be based upon the evaluation too of the damage that that person's done. They should become a slow growing loot pinata, and the longer they maintain notoriety, the more like it is kind of known. And I still think from a reputation perspective, that should matter to them. Like if they wanted to go down the path of being the bad guy, it should be harder, but they should be awarded by getting away with it. To kind of like oh, there's this guy in the server, and I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. And then like for the players that actually go after them, like the bounty is worth it. And then think of like Cowboy Bebop, where like as that bounty grows and grows and grows, like it'd be I'm not sure if you've been like watching Star Citizen, but they've added like turrets outside of Grimhex. Why? It's Grimhex. What's the point of turrets outside of Grimhex? It's an abandoned. It doesn't make any sense. Yep, so we are. Yeah, no, this should be manager should be like running it. Right, so we're on start. Just go to the max number of NPCs, spawning our NPCs. I don't know if we need to run this initial wait. If we're doing it per. Yeah, we're supposed to be warping to an agent, get random point. Yeah, it's supposed to be like 60 meters from around the origin. And then we figure out where that point is on the random. Oh, actually, yeah, we're not actually doing that. So we need to offset. Um, yeah, there's almost like no locations where you just go as pirates that are safe. Sometimes the NPCs will shoot you too. So criminals, what do you think you'll do about it? I hope that you take the hands-off approach, Trav. I think your big brain to arm the people to solve their own problems. I mean, like, yeah, like some of those places you just shouldn't go to. They're just, you know, silly. Did we get NPC spawn? I think so. But where are they spawning? Should be 20 NPCs per, so they're here on the edge. Yeah, they're still spawning in center. Wait, they're spawning offset of each, right? It's like their distributions are like. What are you guys doing? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 20 per. It's like it's not finding the navmish. I think the whole idea of hangars is kind of silly when players could occupy a bit of space, call that their own base of operations. Oh, instead of the instances? Man, it's even crazier when you think about it. Like, you have ArcWarp, and ArcWarp literally has all these, like, 24 buildings that are just randomly generated everywhere. Like, how hard is it to pick a random building and spawn an instance in it? You know what I mean? Like, it's just for everybody else, there's a door that's not open. Right, and then when they do spawn in the hangar, it spawns in physically. You know, spawns in globally to, right, the... like, why have all the real estate in the first place? I understand for bigger cities, like, you know, like, or whatever, but, like... yeah, well, one of the distributions... what is this one keep resetting? Yeah, it should be getting this. Returns the rid of navigation map with agent mode. This function always returns the nav mesh and not the map. Use navigation agent 3D, set navigation vid, use navigation map with navigation agent. Oh yeah, we could actually get that. Has game come online? It's going along good. It's slow and steady. Yeah, because I think we can have that from navigation region events. Navigation layers and user connections. How are you doing? Is it Strafest? Or Strafest? I'm gonna butcher the name because that's what I do. Just want to make sure that they're actually spawning here. Because I don't think they are. Yeah, like why are they spawning so far out the nav mesh? We should be spawning them locally. Adding them to the station. Right, because their nearest nav mesh is here. That's why they're getting the edge of the nav mesh spawning. Right, and here's the other set, which is spawning equally further away. So it's like the same distance of scale. Those are spawning as these are in their distribution. And that's why the manager, I think I'm going to make the manager an actual node. A node 3D. I like to kind of keep things that don't have transform information to be like, you know, just a non-node 3D, but I could use the like the manager itself's reference as the position of reference for where they spawn. Instead of having this like Yep, that should be the NPC's global position when it spawns. Make it based on the parent. Yeah, it actually assumes. Yeah, I don't even know why they're spawning over there. That's not even the origin of the world. The origin of the world is here. Why is those Navnish locations? You're like, why is that even a valid place for it to spawn? It's weird. Mhm. Yeah, because if anything, it'd be it could be spawning on the center.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that function. Yeah, I'm gonna get the origin. Let's see, let's get the origin. Oh yeah, maybe in the manager. There might be more than one. Pick up at the station. Okay, so that's for the navigation mesh itself. And let the navigation region. Alright, so they're an array of regions. And then we can use our navigation region to do the centering. You can spawn them and then warp them. Just spawn them all at origin. Make sure we actually get them. 20 per. So there's 20 over there. Yeah, maybe we just want random. Hey, Bungalow. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so we got... Weird. When did we get these ones? Welcome to Terrible Flight Model. Yeah, 'cause I think this station's NPCs. Yeah, why are they like not really trying to get somewhere? Did you see the excavator clip? Yes. It's awesome. Oh, why? Like, okay, the ship stuff is fine. I don't know why in NPCs. That's what I'm trying to work on now. Like, but when everything is in the middle, we're all good. But I want to set up my NPCs as two separate groups. Like 15 per. And you know, I want to start having them spawn in their own ship, and then heading over to the other station and walking around. That's pretty much rotations and skeletons are stupid. Yes, that's what I want to figure out here. But let me make sure they're working here in anti-testing. So they should have just all stacked on top of each other and kind of did their own thing. All right, so they should be spawning at the origin of each of their own systems, each of their own station. And I was like, why? They slowly hit towards the edge and they stay there. A weird. I also had to do it the right process thing of a method where you're like overridden by current pose. Gotcha. You can do the bone, like you could add a bone attachment and have that bone attachment allow the animation to be overridden. And then you can just move the bone attachment. So if you want to like notify a skeleton, like, why? What is wrong with you guys? Why you be like that? They're just vibing, I know. Where's the heavy bobbing, you say? I'm gonna run them over with a car. You turn the volume down? My mic is low, by the way. My mic is low? What? What do you mean? I am tired, if that helps. Goodbye, car. Yeah, so this is definitely not like, okay, it's spawning them, but their process of finding a random point around them is not working. When it returns the closest point to the provided navigation server that handles navigation maps, does not handle Eastern navigation, image 3D, map is divided in regions. The two regions be connected to each other. You may also assign layers to regions. Don't need to. Get navigation map should be working. Current to closest point is this in a world position? It should be. The closest point to segment. Get that bad. Oh, I messed with the new launch argument stuff for instance today. I could finally set player name for each instance window. Oh, that's good. Still can't say which of the windows is what session though. Oh. Can you just get it to like, I don't know, like whatever the argument is passed in that just like it puts something up as like a label 3D or something? Would that work? Or whatever the argument is. I haven't played with it yet. Oh man, I'm getting tired. I'm off tomorrow, so tomorrow I'll get a whole day working on it. But I get a node called host on the host. It works. Yeah, so like this works for What is this one? NPC. Not that one. NPC spawn. See, I thought NPC spawn was fully set up to handle the two groups of NPCs. Right, and they should be doing their own thing. Yeah, look, they're going and getting food. So they're working here. What? Yeah, they're working. What? They're totally working here. Why are they not working in my other scene? Weird. Gotta go, Brad. The podcast is gonna start in 45 minutes. Cool. I'll be probably ending the stream in around 15 minutes or so. I could probably pop in, say hi. But yeah, I would go like debug customization. Run instances, you get a window to set the arguments per instance. Okay, gotcha. Of course, Godot don't assist the window. Yeah, so like they're working here. They're going, they're getting water, and they're going and getting food. Yeah, the random is working. Why? Right, because they're both not at the origin. One of them is at the world origin. Let me move this station over here to -250. Let's move this one to 250. Yep. Yeah, and then we're on somewhere in the middle. So we're gonna put us over here on this one. Okay, so each one of these have a station manager. Why does it work? Don't mind them spawning on top of each other for initialization. Alright, so they're going to get something to train. Right, and their distribution of random points seems to be within their own nav mesh. So this all looks good. And we could probably say that it's working pretty much the same for the other set. So why isn't it working in the other? So what do you mean? Asset manager for Godot? Oh, so that's like a... So that project is meant to be an asset manager. We log in, and then you have assets. This is my idea with this. So I added a GLTF to model viewer, but from a resources perspective, what I wanted to be able to do is browse a standard Godot resource, like food, add it, it parses it, right? Pulls out all the properties of what the food is as a, example. Adds the class, so like the food resource or commodity resource or the type. Okay, so that's a script class commodity resource. And what it would then now be like what I want it to be able to do is store that reference and store that class reference and enable me to add resources and be able to visualize them in more of a table that a designer can use to alter them without having access to the project. So from a data layer, I could be like, oh, I want to add a planet. Well, because I've added a planet, these are the dependencies of the planet. They must have a faction. But what's the faction? Let me go add that faction resource and define what the faction is. And I've kind of built the game up from the data layer. But if I then want to go into my resources, because everything's a resource and it has a game object that represents that resource, and I want to pull down all my ship components. I want to be able to, create a table of that data, pull it down and do some, spreadsheet stuff on it. But I wanted to create a wiki and kind of start organizing all the things. And then I realized, well, why don't I tie the things to the data itself? And ultimately, use it for different things. Like if I create that planet resource, everything in this system is designed to be marked down. So like I can just add media and attach it. So like if I create a resource for the planet, I can add text resources. So I could add like a whole bunch of like text describing it and conceptualizing it, add a bunch of media, right? So I can tag that asset with media, the game objects, a game model, right? Whatever the model would be. And it's meant to just be agnostic, like to be unique, like any models you can just add and kind of tag them. But it's just meant to be a tool for keeping track of all of the assets. And ideally, what I would like to do is make an add-on that connects to the system and can like pull down the updated changed assets and kind of like, I don't know, run some stuff on them without needing to have the full project. Right, it'll just pull down the base scripts from the repo and whatever the dependencies are, and just allow you to kind of work with the resource data. So that's what I mean by asset manager for Godot that I was working on. That's probably my Twitch not being fully updated. That's what I was working on a while back. Yep. Which is wrong. We're just doing NPC stuff. Sounds exhausting. Well, it's if it works, it could help me prioritize things. You know what I mean? Like think of it from a workflow perspective. I add a planet. Well, what star system is that planet in? Like by kind of meeting the dependencies, I can keep track of time and be like, this is when I added the planet, and then I start adding like what are the planet stations, and what are for those stations, what are the different shops, and for the shops, what are the different what are the different items, and they all they can't exist as a resource unless you upload them. So by like uploading a version of the resource, remember it doesn't care about the base class structure. Like you're only giving it actual Godot resources. Like I just give it water, and then it parses water and knows like, hey, like it'll add the class then and link the resource to that class, and it will keep the data as a NoSQL, like a NoSQL key value pair. So like there can be different versions of shit that have changed over time, and when it gets updated, that's fine. And if it doesn't get updated, like it doesn't care about the data. It just cares about, it doesn't care what you give it, what the value types are. It doesn't validate that that like any of this is correct. It doesn't even know what it is. It just breaks it down into key value pairs of like generic data types and enables you to set them. Yeah, to get like no weird issues with conflicts all over the place. Yeah, exactly. Just one master. Yeah, and I think it'll work. Right, and I'll improve it obviously over time. But it'd be neat to kind of. I just want a place where an artist can go in and just look at all the things that they would need to make. You know what I mean? Like, and attach media to it and kind of come up with ideas. And if you're a writer, go in and write lore and like kind of like like look at all the things that exist in data and be like, describe the planet. Kind of, you know, it's a way to accelerate the project. But anyway, it is 9:55. I'm gonna go raid someone. Thanks again, Mungalo, for the raid. Let me give you a shout out. It's been an interesting week of. Oh, Mungalo, you missed it. I had the weirdest bug. I'll explain. So we have. Oh, you're gonna love this one. So the NPCs here in gravity testing, they spawn and they go back and forth, and their whole flight model works pretty good as intended. Oh yeah, you're gonna absolutely. So here is everything fully working, right? Like it's heading to, like it wakes up, it's a trading ship, it finds its nearest arrival point, it heads there, it's given a landing location preemptively, comes in, auto aligns, lands, gets, you know, corrects itself, takes off. We've seen this in Unity before, right? It's doing the same shit. But here's the thing, every time something would bump the pad would shift as if the physics was affecting it. It's a static body 3D. Nothing can affect the physics of it. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, every time the ship would come in and bump it, it would move. And I'm like, nothing can be causing it to be bumped. It doesn't work that way. Like, what is happening? Why is it doing this? You're gonna love it. So I had in the actual landing pad itself a piece of code called auto land. So that the second you hit the pad, it just kind of like makes sure that you're aligned to the global basis Y. But here on my little tween, I had this. So guess what I was aligning? Guess what I was aligning? Guess what I was changing the global rotation of to align itself? Not the ship. And anyway, I could not find it. So as the ship would come in and touch the pad and shift the pad as if it was hitting it and actually causing some physics calculation, but it wasn't. It wasn't like we manually put a ship like against one of the pads, and we like flew it and like touched it and it shifted again, and I was like, what the hell? Like, what is it doing? Why is it doing this? Anyway, it was stupid. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end it here on the other socials. I'm gonna go find someone to raid if you have any recommendations.